All right, this is a review of the second half of Target 2.3. These questions are about biased samples and biased questions. Remember that the word biased means that it's kind of unfair, doesn't represent what we want it to represent. So the Student Council wants input from students at Washburn to improve lunch options. Describe a way to sample 10 students from this population in an unbiased, fair way. Okay, so if we look at our notes from previous, these are the three types of good unbiased samples. We can have a simple random sample, a stratified random sample, or a systematic random sample. So a sample that is, a simple random sample is like you put everything in a hat and you choose one thing. You don't do anything special about it. Stratified random sample is you actually split up the group into small pieces and then randomly choose something from within each piece. And then systematic random sample is like you pick every 10th person or something like that. So I have a choice of any three of these for this question. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably do systematic random sample. Okay, but this is one you're going to do, and I want you to choose one that is different. So I'll do. I'm going to pick the 20th person that enters the front door until 10 students are chosen. All right, so if I do that, the reason this will be unbiased is because I will have, because friends come in with each other. So by picking every 20th person, I'll have a variety. Okay. Now I want you to do this one again. Maybe try doing a stratified random sample or a simple random sample for your box. Okay. The next one, it says describe a way to sample 10 students from this population in a biased way. So biased is bad. So back looking at my notes, I can see that these are the two bias types: convenient sample and voluntary response. So if you only ask people to do it if they want to, that's voluntary, that's biased. And convenience is just, hey, if you don't really try very hard, you just find people close to you. So if I did voluntary response, let's do that one, and then you can do convenient sample. So for this one, I'll do a voluntary response. So we'll leave optional surveys on tables. And the reason this is biased is only people that want to give feedback will. This is kind of what happens on social media, and when people rate things, people that really like a product want to talk about it, and people that hate the product want to talk about it. But the people in the middle, you don't really get a lot of those. So a lot of times you either get 5 stars or 0 stars because people are pretty extreme if they only have to write feedback if they have to, or if they want to, excuse me. All right, last one, we have to talk about biased questions. Now, biased questions is a different topic. These are the ways to have biased questions. We have question order. Sometimes 2 questions are asked in order such that the first one suggests something about the next one. Preface, if the question starts with something. 2 questions in one, biased wording, unpleasant words, and desire to please. I'm going to do one for desire to please, and maybe you could do one on biased wording. But biased wording is something like this, like frequent, brutal, negative, Whereas desire to please, that's what I'm going to do, is should your math teacher be paid more, or something like do you agree? Those things might make someone want to say agree because they don't want to displease you. Okay, so here would be my bias question. Don't you agree that our lunches should have more options? Lunches should have okay. And the reason that this is biased is because there's a desire to please. You might not want to say no because I said, don't you agree? So response might not want to disagree. Okay, now I want you to come up with your own question. Again, use any of these options that you can see here and come up with your own question at the bottom.